G'day folks, it's Glenn from Medical Gas Solutions. I just wanted to make a quick video on this new gasless RWD ventilator. So it's a turbine driven ventilator, it doesn't require any gas at all to run it. So it just needs to link with the anaesthetic machine, which is very quick and easy, and I've done. Difficult to show everything on the video, and I apologise for the background noise. I've got a pump running to run the anaesthetic machine, so I don't have any cylinders here at the moment. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on the display. You may have to zoom this video when you view it, but basically it's a touchscreen unit with a bellows, and you get two bellows. You get a large one for larger patients, over 300 mil, and then for the really small stuff you get a small bellows and a small canister as well that links in. So that's for the very small patients, which would be non-rebreathers basically. And a little over that, you can put some rebreathers on the edge of that before we go into this. So you get some easy to change the bellows, easy to change the canisters. This is all touchscreen as mentioned, and the jog wheel, which is terrific. You've got weights, preset weights there, which I think is fantastic. So I can put in a weight. I'm going to scroll down to 15 kilo, confirm it, and it'll have all the parameters that it thinks a 15 kilo animal should have. Now you can adjust those, and you can put your own parameters in. You put a couple of hundred of those in. This has data storage and data transmission via USB as well. It has inspiratory hold, which you can use to fill the lung and take a momentary shot if you're doing MRIs or CTs or scans. You can hold the breath in the animal for a preset time before you let it go and take the scan. So that's really good. You get a remote control. You can even do that outside the scanning room. That's on the upgraded one over this. This has battery control as well, if you lose 240 volts, full menu and alarms. So what we're going to do, there's three modes in this. As a ventilator, it has three modes. Volume control, where it puts in a preset volume every time to the patient. Pressure control, where it puts in a preset pressure and doesn't go over that. And apnea, where it allows a preset time to transpire for the animal to breathe on its own. When the animal does not breathe, or if the animal doesn't breathe in that time period, it will ventilate. So what we're going to do, we're going to do volume. We'll do it in order, so we'll confirm that. We're going to do volume control for a 15 kilo animal. I have a test lung here. I've accidentally knocked the volume, so I'll go back to 15 and go back to what it was, which was 190, which I hadn't taken enough notice of. So this is a test lung. Basically it inflates every time the bellows drives, so it's to mimic the patient. So this is, in a lot of biomeds, call these a glorified bag squeezer. So where do you put it on the anaesthetic machine? You put it where the bag used to be, on the absorber or on the patient circuit. You take the bag off and you connect this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. Do we want to start? Yes, I do. And here it goes. The bellows is not moving a great deal, only because the kilos are down and not a great deal is required to ventilate a 15 kilo animal, because it's only putting in 190 mils each breath, and it's doing that 12 times. We can change that, of course. All these are changeable, but at the moment, every minute we're putting in 12 times 190 mil, so that's coming to 2.1 litres a minute approximately. It's a slight tolerance in that, and we're plotting that. There are the breaths for the animal. What does the test lung look like when it's working? There it goes, breathing. It's basically a bag with an encasement to mimic the lungs and the bones and the chest and the weight. So hang that back there. Apologies if this video, I am on my own. It's difficult to film some items, but I wanted to give you a heads up on this. The brightness on the display is fully adjustable. I've turned it down so that I hope I don't get too much glare in the video for you. So there we go, it's pumping away. It's very quiet, very intuitive. We have alarms in here. For a 15 kilo animal, it believes the minute volume, if it's the lower limit should be 0.9 and the upper limit 5.7. If it goes outside those upper or lower limits, it's going to carry on. If the pressure rises over 16 centimetres, it's also going to carry on. We can adjust those, but they're what it believes are the correct figures for that weight of an animal. So it's going as long as I let it go. And as long as the anaesthetic machine's got gas, it will continue to keep pumping away. So they're the preset parameters, and they're what it's measuring. So the peak at the moment is 10, and we said earlier if it goes to 16, it'll carry on because it's too high for the animal. It will give you a warning. You can mute the alarms, but a serious alarm will unmute again and carry on. And even if you mute an alarm, it will still carry on the red screen. So these are what's happening, and these are what's preset. So we're doing 12 breaths a minute. Beg your pardon, I've touched that. There's our minute volume, 2.2 litres a minute we're putting in, and that is 187 by 12 breaths. 187 mil by 12 equals 2.2. There's the peak, that's the natural peak of this lung. On the out breath, there's a slight remaining pressure, and that's a peak. That's why it's not on 0 on the out breath, it's a little higher than that, it's on 3, which is, there's the 0 baseline in the graph. And then our pressure at the moment is peaking at 10. If we go into alarms, if you want to hear what an alarm is like, let's put our pressure below 10. And that's what a high pressure looks like. It carries on like crazy. You can hardly miss it. If you mute it, it's still going to carry on. It'll measure still. You'll still see the graph because it's still pumping. We haven't stopped it. But it's carrying on because I haven't made any difference to that alarm. I haven't rescued the animal with any changes. Now I'm going to. It'll go back to what it was. Still pumping the same, but it's not alarming anymore. So that's volume control. What does pressure control look like? Let's go into that. Yes, we want to confirm that. There's a double command all the time. It's to stop you just knocking something and accidentally changing something. It'll ask you again, you sure you want to confirm? A bit like an iPhone, you sure you want to delete the files? Give you a second chance at it. Now we're doing pressure control. So what's pressure control? We've kept the same volume, beg your pardon, the same patient weight, I haven't changed that, but now we're doing pressure control. So we're doing a controlled amount of pressure. We're still doing the 12 breaths a minute, and we're doing a breath ratio of 1 second in and 2 seconds out, 2 seconds to breathe out. So that's a fairly good standard ratio, and it gives the animal a chance to get rid of its CO2. You would always monitor CO2 with a ventilator. You can get an upgraded model of this that has the CO2 built into capnograph. The peak is 11. That's what it's saying should be for a weight of 15 kilo. It should be a peak of 11. And it's reading that at the moment. We've still got our volumes, 266 and 3.1. So to get that higher pressure, it's got a slightly higher volume than in volume control. Because it's not solely governed by volume. That was back before we changed it. Now it's governed by pressure. Still has the high pressure alarm and the minute volumes. But it's really governing its pressure, but it's doing it at the same rate, and it's doing it at the same ratio. So not a lot of difference between volume and pressure at this particular patient. So we'll show you the third one. If you really want to be sure of a pressure, this would be the one to go to. If you're more conscious of volume, then the volume control will be more what you'd go to. The other one is apnea. I don't want to keep this video too long, but we'll go into apnea. Yes, we'll confirm. Yes, we want apnea. So it's still the same weight, 15 kilo. So what it's doing, it's waiting for a spontaneous breath for 15 seconds. If I don't give it, which I'm not going to, 15 seconds has transpired now. Nearly. I jumped in a bit early there. That's about 15 now. It goes to mechanical, which changes the colour, beeps, and does a stroke. So it's doing it 12 breaths a minute, the same as it was, because I haven't changed. The animal's still the same type of animal, same weight. So I haven't changed any of that. So what I've got is still the 12 breaths a minute, still the correct ratio that I wanted. I can change it, but I want it. Still the volume is approximately what we had in volume control, but now we have an apnea with a trigger and a trigger time of 15 seconds. So what can I make it breathe? I can do that with a test lung, which we will sell with these. We can simulate it. There is a simulated very quick animal breath that I did. So it's gone into spontaneous, and it's now waiting for a second one. If I give a second one, it'll wait another 15 seconds. This is the time it's waiting just here. I can adjust that, how long I wait for an animal to breathe. I may not be happy with waiting too long, or I may want to wait longer. I want to give the animal more chance to breathe, so I might extend that out. and there it goes, mechanical, because I didn't do it in 15. So what does it look like? You can go 15 right through to 30. That's on this kilo weight. On other animal weights, I could scroll to different figures. And we can adjust the sensitivity, which is your pressure trigger over here. You can adjust how sensitive it is to pick up the animal's breath. You can have it ignore slight fluctuations in the animal, or you can have it be real sensitive to looking for that animal breath. You can adjust the sensitivity, but it's saying that -3 is what I would normally be at for a 15 kilo fairly healthy animal would be -3. It's the figure that's giving. This is what we're reading here, a peak of 9, very similar to what we had before, fraction under, 9 or 10 or so. And there's the breath rate, 12 breaths, the same as we've had with every other mode. But now it will stop if it senses an animal breath. Okay, so that's that. We can stop at any time. Yes, I want to stop. We can change the weight at any time. Let's go to something a lot bigger. Let's go to 60 kilo. Let's start apnea for 60 kilo. Yes, please. It's got a slower breath rate. It's a bigger animal. So it's recognised as a bigger lung capacity. Bigger animals generally breathe less often than a smaller animal. That's a very rough breath that I've generated, but now it's going to wait 15 seconds again. These are the seconds on the bottom line here. That's a snapshot of 50. Here we go. It didn't register a breath, so it did it. So it'll start on its 9 breaths a minute. There we go. Higher pressure, bigger lung capacity, bigger animal. Also change the ratio a little bit. With the bigger animal, it's going to wait half a second longer for the CO2 and for the animal to breathe out. It's changed all that on its own. So these are slightly different because I've gone from 15 to a 60 kilo animal. That's an enormous difference. There's going to be differences in the algorithm. So it's picked up all that. The whole chart of algorithms in the book for this, really, really good. We'll show you in respiratory hold. You can't do that on apnea. You need to do that when it's ventilating all the time, so we'll get it ventilating all the time, which we'll go with volume control. So we're putting preset volume in of 625. So that's got a deeper stroke because it's now a 60 kilo animal. So we're putting that in. What does inspiratory hold look like? Well, we don't have the remote here, so we're going to do it on the button. So we hold the button. This is prevents you knocking it. Inspiratory hold, there's the seconds. I've held it for 3, 4, 5 seconds. This is the pressure rising. It's going to warn me if it goes too far. I'm holding it for 10 seconds. There's the breath held going along the top there. So I might have taken a scan or a shot of the animal, imaging at that time. And as soon as I let it goes back. So there you can see the longer held breath for inspiratory hold. Pretty handy feature, especially on remote. Really good. Stop. Anytime I can stop. Let's go to a really big animal. This will go from 0.4 or 400 gram animal to 150 kilo animal, which is just enormous. But I must preface that with saying your anaesthetic machine may not handle that. 150 kilo is very, very big. If you've got a plastic type absorber, they normally top out at 100 legally. Can do patients slightly over that, but they're not warranted over that. To show you a bigger stroke. You can practice with all this. I'm doing this with no animals inside. My dog's probably asleep in another part of the property, so he doesn't even know about this. I can use a test lung. That's why we sell them with a test lung. It comes from another provider, ironically. Found test lungs a bit hard to get, but they are easy to use. There's a much deeper stroke for you. So this is a fantastic item. You're not going to consume any more gas than you consume. High pressure. Probably got raise that a little bit. Bring the volume down a little bit. Pump it so hard. Test lung is not handling such a great stroke because my test lung has only got a 1 litre bag on it, and a 110 kilo animal wouldn't have a 1 litre bag. Be a lot higher in your bag size. So the test lung has caused that issue. So I've just backed it off a little bit. Still could become an issue, but we can change test lung bag sizes, but for the purpose of the video, it's just too awkward to show you that. So there you go, a deeper stroke. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Great advantages to this surgical ventilator with the 3 easy modes. So simple to clean and easy to operate, and with the preset algorithms and your ability to change it. You can also store data and give it to the customer, or keep it for your own legal records. Yeah, there's just so much you can do with it, but it's simple and intuitive. Very, very easy. The other thing is it can sit on a table or a bench, and it can go on any anaesthetic machine. You can actually carry it too. It's 8 kilo lift, so it's not incredibly back-breaking to move, but it's just a terrific item. The battery lasts 2 years. The warranty is 3, which is exceptionally high. A lot of this stuff's generally 2 years, but it's 3 years on this. Some of the consumable hoses are only 6 months, but that's to be expected. They will last a lot longer if treated well. So yeah, overall a 3-year hardware and warranty. What else? You can run it on portable oxygen concentrators like the one you're hearing carrying on in the background here, and that is revolutionary. Nobody's been able to make anything that consistently can do that. So yeah, that territory's been broken now with this really good little item. So let me know if you're interested in this, and we can send you more info and also send you a quote on it. They are onshore in Australia, so we get them very quickly, and there is a pro model with the inspiratory hold remote control and a side-built side stream capnograph as well that we'll show in here, that's fully adjustable and cleanable. Yeah, so you can be monitoring capnography at the same time as monitoring waveforms and breaths. So yeah, really good little item. Glenn from Medical Gas Solutions will send out a bit of email on it as well, but that's a basic heads up on what it looks like to run it and how quick and simple it is, stress-free really. Thanks for your time, and we hope to talk to you again soon.